Well, I think I can't find any negatives except we really got to juggle our bench to stay out of foul trouble and buy minutes in the game. And almost before every timeout, I can't gamble on guys getting 2 fouls in the backcourt with Cruz out. Outside of that, very pleased with the game, very pleased with the offensive pace, very pleased with the way we came out defensively. We did a lot of really, really good things.
Rick, did you see things in the scout from the first game to help you today?
You know, the first game, we were up 3 at halftime, and then we just played awful basketball. And we were ready to play tonight, not because they blew us out, but we looked at the film and said, this is why we made the mistakes, and this is why we got blown out. The 3 teams in this league, you know, Ryder came back from down 18 to beat us. Quinnipiac and Siena took care of us on the road. So you have to learn from why you get beat. And we did in both situations.
Can you expand on what it was, why you got beat?
Well, in the Siena game in the second half, Bear played great. And sometimes you don't expect a guy that's averaging 5 or 6 points to play that well. And then you realize that he's a playmaker as well. He had a great game. And sometimes young men like you who don't understand the game totally, you think there's a reason, and I don't mean age, you think that you try to say, well, it's this guy's fault, and nobody ever gives credit to Bear playing great or Siena playing great. There's a reason why people play great, and it's very tough. I used to remember as the Knick coach, all the time you'd play Philadelphia on a Friday, Philadelphia on a Saturday, Chicago on a Friday, Chicago on a Saturday, and the chances of getting a sweep was so remote. And you may say, why? We just beat them by 30 points. Why is it so tough? It's a big advantage. And you've heard this many times. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. And the reason it's tough is the team that loses always changes and makes the corrections of why they got beat, where the team that wins stays and says, let's keep on doing what we do to get a victory. And I've always believed just the opposite. You better change when you win. You better change and do different things that they're not ready for. So it's to answer your question, it's you got to look at that film and say, okay, this is why we got beat. But very few times people give credit to the opposition. And we just looked at the film and said they played great. We did not. We'll make the corrections.
Rick Walton was in here a few minutes ago, and he was talking about how guarding DJ in practice has brought out a better part of his game. What have you seen since you tinkered with that?
Well, I made a big mistake. And during practices, so I would have the starting unit, the gold team play against the maroon team. And they always keep scoring. Players want to keep scoring every drill because they're highly competitive today. And what would happen is the gold team, 5 out of 6 days, would just blow the maroon team out. You have Silas, you have Sadiku, you have Brookshire, Parker, and they just kill them every day. Then about a month ago, I started changing the teams. Walter would be the point guard on one team, DJ, and everybody started getting really better. Everybody was trying to win every 15-minute segment, and then they love to talk smack here. So, like the other day, I'll give you an example. The end of practice, we get together, we say something motivational, and DJ's coach and I say something. Wall came in here today thinking they were going to win. He came in like a little late while we were working on our game a little early. He came in here, and we just kicked their ass. I just want Wall to know, don't be coming in here like you thinking you're going to win. And that's all fun, but we've made it so competitive, the teams. I wish I would have done it in the beginning of the year, but because they're all new, I was trying to get them to be harmonious offensively and defensively. Once we've made it competitive, and remember now, Walt, who plays points, he mostly plays 2 because when he's with Danis, but now he goes against Danis every single day. I got after Walt a little bit. I was upset at him defensively, and then he comes up with 7 steals because he knew I was upset at him.
Now, conversely, with Walt's hot streak over the last couple of weeks, has that maybe allowed DJ to go a little under the radar and be more deceptive to opposing teams?
Well, I say this with all humility. I've had some great backcourts. Peyton Sieva, Russ Smith. At Kentucky, they were. This is a big time backcourt. 2 6'3" guys, very strong, very quick. So you know, this is as good a backcourt as you'll find in basketball. They're two terrific players. So Danis takes the pressure of Walt, Walt takes the pressure of Danis. And the reason Brookshire is so good right now is because I moved him to two guard. And he gets the advantage of Walt and Danis finding him for his shot. When I played him at the point, he never looked good. That's why James Carey looked so well today. We moved him to the two guard.
Brookshire seems to have moved up in the rotation, he's getting more minutes.
Well, we don't have Cruz.
Okay.
We have he's the only rotation right now. And that's hurt us somewhat because I can't gamble as much defensively as I like. But we're getting by with it. And
Well,
we're,
Coach-
what are we, 22-7 now? I mean, it's a hell of a year with the schedule we played. If we would've won 2 or 3 games that I thought we could have won, we'd be around 40 or 50 in the net right now.
It does seem though Brookshire from November to now is one of the most improved players on the team.
I think when we moved them to the two guard, I think the practices got better when I made the teams, and I think when Brookshire went to the two, he's a much better different basketball player.
Do you think it's helped your bench develop as well? It seems like you're getting more out of it.
But
The bench, development, the switch, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on my bench. You know, it's okay in a 30-point game, but what's it gonna be like when you're getting into these playoffs and, you know, the games are tight, can you use your bench and come away with it? I think Brookshire definitely can. I'm not sure about the other guys yet. We need Cruz back badly. Now, Michael Jefferson is somebody I can depend on. That's a big relief. We were practicing with basically 9 scholarship players for a long time.
Do you think Cruz will be back next weekend?
I'm worried about Cruz right now. I thought he'd be back 10 days ago. So I'm worried. I'm not sure he is coming back.
And Coach, just about Nelly Jr. Joseph, the game seems like it's gone, as we talked about earlier, more and more consistent. Today, he had a couple of bigs on to play against Siena. How do you feel like his game is going? It seems like he's a lot smoother with his taking the ball to the rim.
You know, Nelly was a much better passer his first year because of Ross and Asante. They would throw it in, they were always cutting, he was hitting them back door for layups. I don't know if you remember this. The last hurdle for our guys is to cut better off the post. They all stand there and watch Nelly instead of cutting, and Nelly was a very good passer finding people. Tonight, he found people. And when Nelly throws it out, you throw it out to Walt, you throw it out to Danish, you throw it out to Anton, they're gonna make that three. Even Osborne, without question, is the most improved player on our team.
When it was clear that Billups wasn't gonna play, did that change anything about the way you
Say it
wanted?
again, I'm
When
sorry.
it was clear that Jared Billups was not gonna play for Siena, did that change anything about the way you wanted to attack them today or
Not
no?
really. I mean, you don't change your scouting for Billups because he's like Berrick. He's a great athlete, but you concern more with 3-point shooting, with post play. Billups is just a really good athlete, really good basketball player, like Berrick. But you don't change your scouting for Berrick, you don't change your scouting for Billups. You know what they can do. They're terrific athletes, and you know, Siena didn't play, like we didn't play a great game up there, and they didn't play a great game down here. It just happens like that.
How do you feel about your team coming down the stretch now compared to, say, a year ago, Rick?
Well, we won the league by 3 games last year. We were really good. I love coaching at Iona. Love my players. I hate this league. Hate it. Not because the league is not good. The league is great, as St. Peter showed. I hate being in a 1-bid league. There was so many times in Louisville, Kentucky, like I was 19-1 in tournament play, I think, in Kentucky. And the only time we lost, I wanted to lose badly, was '96 championship, one of the greatest teams of all time. Because we were winning every league game by 25 points. I wanted us to get back on track. Here, the pressure when you go to Atlantic City, because you gain no advantage by being a 1 seed. It's not like you play at home, and it's not like at the end of the tournament you play at home. So it's meaningless. I think Iona, when they won 4 out of 5, only won the league 1 time. So it's Russian roulette, and that's what I don't like. I love the league, I love the coaches, I love everything about it, but I hate being in a 1-bid league, because in Louisville, Kentucky, you get upset, so what, okay, we're not gonna be a 2 seed, we'll be a 3 seed. And, you know, we could win 24 games, and anybody could beat us. Anybody. Siena beat us, Quinnipiac beat us, Ryder came back. That's this league. It's a great coaches league. If you said to me now, who's the best coach in this league. I've gone against Dean Smith, I've gone against Frank McGuire, I've gone against Kay, Boeheim, Jay Wright. I couldn't tell you who the best coach in this league is. They're all great. Baker Dunleavy's awesome. Damaris, Niagara, Canisius guy is awesome. The Mount St. Mary's guy is great. There's not one weak coach in this league. They're all terrific because they've got to be creative and innovative. They don't have the talent that the Auburns have in the Kentucky. They've got to be creative. So CaMM does a tremendous job at Siena. Really good young coach. He's got really happy that he brought in that fellow that is like 55, 60 years old from the scout,
Bobby Castagna,
the assistant coach.
yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have somebody like that on the bench with what he's been through as a scout for 18 is great for CaMM to lean on. So it's awesome. Siena's got a great program. We have tremendous respect for them, but we have tremendous respect for Kevin Badger, what he's doing at Rider. He's a tremendous coach as well. My appreciation for them is off the charts, how good these coaches are. And it's been a treat to coach against them. But we're all in a one bid league. We gotta go down to Atlantic City and play in front of 700 people, and hopefully we.
Rick, is there a point where your practice has changed a little bit, where you're thinking more about the tournament than the rest of the games? Or?
No, what I told my team is I want to improve. I want to get better. And so far in the last 3 weeks, we've gotten a lot better. I'm learning to protect the bench right now. I'm doing everything to protect the bench going into the second half. I try to take guys, Walt and DJ out more so they have the second half. And you saw how well Walter played in the second half. So I've got to get that right now because I don't know if Cruz is coming back. I'm a doubting Thomas right now.
Coach, you've seen more teams go to 2 big lineups to counter you guys. How has that opened up the game?
It's interesting, they did it tonight, and we didn't expect that lineup tonight. But obviously, there's a reason why with the injuries they have. Osborne is a unique basketball player. He's very mature. He's shooting the ball much better. I think if I had an MVP this season, I would give it to Osborne Shema. I used to think it was Shema, but Shema. And why would I do that? Because he plays every second as if his life is on the line. Even though I said the backcourt is so great, they don't do that. Nelly, they don't do that. Osborne Shema plays every second of every minute of every game. So he would be my MVP of this basketball team because how hard he plays all the time. And he looks at me, and when he goes down on his knees, he looks like he's just dying out there. I said, do you need a break? And he can't answer me, he's so tired. I said, okay, just hang in there, we'll get it in. So he's the guy I respect the most on our basketball team, and I have great respect for everybody. Osborne is the guy that gives me everything he has.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations, Chris.